Hey everyone, this morning we are in northwestern Florida, and I think we just crossed over a time zone because the time on my phone has changed. So right now we're going to check out the abandoned Dozier School for Boys. It's right here. We're going to see what kind of abandoned buildings they have left. I think this thing right here going over the road for pedestrians is also part of the school. Oh yeah, there's abandoned buildings on both sides, and there's also construction going on here. So we're gonna start on the left side of the road. So yep, this is definitely part of the school, this platform for pedestrians. So we're gonna look around. I see a bunch of school buses parked in here and a bunch of construction going on. So it looks like the government is using this land for certain things. So this place here was opened in 1900. And it was open 111 years, shut down in 2011. This place was for misbehaved boys. Some of them did things as bad as murder and rape, and some of them did things that were so minor, skipping school, smoking a cigarette. So this place, we're gonna take a look around it, maybe get out and look inside some of the buildings. There's no trespassing signs. There's also a cemetery here. The boys were severely abused. Dozens of them were murdered by the school after severe beatings. A very terrible place. And it was on the radar of the state for being abusive for like half a century. Even in the 1950s, the Florida governor came here and he saw how bad this place was. No heating system, and you would think of Florida as a warm place, but this morning waking up here, it was a couple degrees below freezing. This place didn't have adequate heating. The buildings were leaky, and the governor in the 50s said that this place was likely to turn these people into hardcore criminals rather than rehabilitating them at all, just because of how bad the situation was here. But reform never came to the school. That behavior continued until the 2000s, where it was officially shut down by the state. This place is all open to the public. You can go around in here. There's nothing saying you can't be here. I wonder if these fences are original from the actual school. It's probably what I'm thinking, because they're nothing new. And today's a pretty cold day, so this would be the day for us to go in here and explore the facility, because when it's colder out, you don't really have to worry about the snakes. That's something I worry about when I explore the south. The possibility of snakes being here, the venomous snakes. Yeah, this place has got barbed wire around it, like a prison. And I'm just driving around now trying to locate exactly where the buildings are, so we don't have to waste a couple of hours driving around in here. I also got to be wary, make sure there's no open manhole covers or holes. They're mowing back here for some reason, so I'm going to drive back here. Oh, look at that on the left. It's like an abandoned playscape for children. There's also some abandoned culvert pipes. A whole bunch of actually abandoned junk left back here. Yeah, there's a bunch of abandoned junk. This road is getting bad. Don't want to get stuck. Bad road. As long as I don't run over a nail, I'm happy. But I think I'm going to pull back out into the open area to park and explore, because I think this is reachable from both sides. This building is very, very crumbling, and it's hard for me to believe that some of these buildings were abandoned in 2011. I think some of this facility is decades abandoned. I don't think it's just 2011, just by looking at the decay. Look at how stirred up this is. This is like they drove an excavator through here. It's all torn up by tracks or something. Wow. Boom, boom on the suspension. This road's awful. Let's find a good spot to park. All right, I just locked the truck. I hear a ton of dogs barking. It did say that there was some sort of pet rescue on the grounds. They're using the property for it. I hear so many dogs. See that water tower over there? Even says school for boys. That's what's abbreviated. Yeah, I hear a ton of dogs. I wonder if I'm the one who caused that commotion, because I was just riding on so much uneven ground, and I keep a cowbell hung underneath my truck, and that must have made so much noise. I can't actually hear it inside my truck. I guess it's well insulated, but I do that so it keeps deer away. So we're gonna walk back in here again where I just drove. There's lots of wood with nails sticking out, and yeah, see, it looks like an excavator tore up some of this. Somebody dumped an entire children's playscape is what we're seeing right there. This is just being used as a dumping ground by random people. Yeah, what's over here? There's a whole bunch of, I think maybe helium tanks, because they're all colored. I don't think it's propane, but something along those lines. People are dumping a bunch of, that's insulation board, a bunch of concrete being dumped here. The temperature is actually really nice for getting up and walking around. Yeah, there's my tracks. This was a very uneven ride. It reminds me of the messed up logging roads. So it's 43 degrees out right now. Very chilly day. Last night was very cold. I didn't realize that Florida got this cold for long stretches. The entire forecast for northern Florida is below freezing at night. I thought that was just a sometimes thing. I might have to look at Google Maps a little bit more. Google Maps is in the summertime and you can barely see this stuff. It's just very, very overgrown. Let's take a look inside this building right here. It being nice and chilly out, so I don't think we have to worry about a rattlesnake or anything. Looks like a kitchen building. Very dilapidated, but it being made out of reinforced concrete, it's what's keeping the place standing. Vacuum cleaner. There's a stove. Oh, look at this. A meat smoker. Is that what that is? I see hooks and a big open area downstairs. That's what I'm assuming that is. Toilets, bathrooms. Over here we got a washing machine. That is really cool. That old washing machine. Look at this part of the building. Got a gigantic air handler laying on the ground. Very rough shape. Anything back here? Giant freezers. Lots of I can tell mice have been living in this insulation before it came down. Very deteriorated. Yeah, walk-in freezers completely collapsed. Not too much to see here. Let's go back outside and see if we can walk to any more buildings. Here's a small shack full of a whole bunch of doors, commercial grade doors, and I'm guessing showers, maybe. Bunch of mourning doves there flying away. We'll go in this building next. Yeah, there's a children's slide, pieces of playground, all dumped here for some reason. More commercial doors, heating system. Looks like they were doing a salvaging operation here. And look at those big gauges on the walls. Interesting. Being very cautious where I step here. I do have the puncture-proof boots, but still want to be careful. And this is where we just were, where all the freezers and stuff were. So let's go across the way into these buildings. And a lot of the roofs are just torn up, maybe from hurricanes. I wonder if they're starting to demolish all this, because a lot of this stuff seems very recently disturbed. It's a newer microwave, air compressor, bunch of tables, countertops. Look at all the wild colors. Did that stuff come out of like a school? Like, did this place house younger children? Because I'm seeing a lot of playground stuff and all these super bright colors. It's possible. This building here is actually barely leaking. It just started getting bad, I can tell. I thought that these were all like teenagers, but seeing so much stuff, maybe it wasn't dumped here. Maybe it's just left over because it just closed in 2011. Next building here, filled to the brim with junk. Wow. Look at all the glass bottles. What's this roller there? It kind of looks like a compost mixer. Yeah, this building's bad. Real bad. All the bottles just pouring out the door. Let's go explore some of these buildings here before we get back in the truck. These plants I'm walking through are leaving little seeds all over me. They just moved like this trailer or whatever it is. This is a place I've been wanting to explore for a couple of years. And according to its Google profile and reviews, they don't mind if people come check it out. Okay, all that stuff is within the fence we were just in. We're just seeing if we can easily get in this little building. No, this one's boarded up pretty well. The ground here is all disturbed also. Maybe later we'll find where the cemetery is. I think that's on Google Maps, and they have a big plaque there. Since the school shut down, they've been for years now going around these grounds with ground penetrating radar because they suspect there's more bodies, since a lot of them weren't even buried in the cemetery. Look at this ramp going up to nothing. Kind of looks like where they unload cattle from a truck to the farm. And there's fire ants everywhere. Look at them all. I just disturbed hundreds of them. So don't want to stand around that stuff for too long. These look like temporary buildings. Like something that can be moved out of here easily with a truck. Are we gonna be able to go in any of these? Some sort of engine there. What is that? Pressure washer? Looks like. Not much leaking of the roof. And you see how the leaking is on the ends of these buildings? I'm assuming that's caused by high winds, hurricanes. Take a beating on all these buildings. Let's take a look at this next one. Cool. I've never seen walkways like this. These boards are actually concrete, and this one is sealed off. So someone there drove through those carpenter ants. Wow. No, I mean fire ants. Wow, that's a big mound. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get in this one, but there's one more door that we could try. It's locked. Okay, we're not getting in this one. I see more open doors though. Look at this one. Water fountain in here. Bathroom. I'm not 100% sure what these buildings were. It looks like emergency housing of some sort. Shed just full of debris. I see a file cabinet. Old TV. We have a turkey vulture coming to see us. Old sink, old fixtures, a ton of PVC joints, plumbing parts in there. What about this next one? I'm gonna find this one open. It's really weird how this ramp is. There's like a ramp going up to nothing. Is that where they would pull up a bus and everyone would go in? And we're not going through this door either. These ones are secured and it looks like they're trying to fix them. Back here behind me, they've already taken one of them. Look at this. Very recently taken. I don't know if they're selling these places off. For someone that knows how to fix things, these trailers, I don't know if these are technically double wide trailers or whatnot. They're not in that bad a shape. The roofs are pretty good. I can see somebody rehabbing it pretty easily. One more building here. before we get on out of here. This looks like a new work site, so we're gonna stay clear of it. This looks very recent, right? These big auxiliary lights. Maybe they're saving that old freezer. It just looks very recent, that stuff. This trailer is obviously really old. Is that a fuel trailer? It looks like a fuel pump. It's got buckets. Maybe it's like a tar trailer when they're seal coating the road. Maybe. They got a bucket here that hasn't been here very long. Interesting place. Now let's drive across the road where most of the buildings are, wherever that water tower is. 1,400 acres, this place. There's a lot of buildings. A lot was going on here. This place is a lot more open and accessible than I thought it would be. It's actually very hard to imagine this place being open just 14 years ago. Alright, let's go back down like where that church was, unless I spot more buildings on the way. Oh, here, this must be the building that was missing over there. It says electrical heating and cooling on it. Yeah, they got it up on a trailer chassis, ready to be pulled out of here somewhere. Oh my gosh, there's so many buildings over here before we even go across the road. An overwhelming amount of buildings. The gate looks like it's wide open. Nothing says we can't go in. This one, at least to my left, is what I meant. This one is gated. Okay, this looks active, whatever this is. When I was looking at it on satellite maps, there are things that look active. This looks like it was part of the school, but it's still being maintained and mowed for some reason. All right, let me try over here. Wait, what's that sign say? No student drivers allowed through this area. Okay. Anything down here through this next gate? Oh, yes, there is. There's a whole nother building here, extremely grown in. I've seen pictures of this place in the summertime, and it's absolutely gorgeous when these vines are green. This is winter now. See, there's school buses over here. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna just show out the window real quick. I'm just gonna show out the window a little bit as we drive. Look at that. Covered in vines. Now we're gonna drive by a dumpster. Yeah, we're not gonna go in these ones. Look at that. That is cool though. I want to get some still shots. Oh, there's turkey vultures up on the roof. Yeah, this place would look a lot prettier if it was the summertime. Cool. Awesome. Look at that one. The whole roof is collapsed to this building. And the rest of the facility across the road looks nicely mowed. So I don't know if we're gonna get inside any more of this, but we're gonna try. There's just buses here. There's no cars, so I don't think there's like kids in this building right now, especially because it's a Saturday. But this might be being used as a school still, this portion. Look at this church. We're gonna go inside there for a minute. I'm gonna pull up right in the front here. Go check that out. Then we're gonna go across the road where there's a lot more buildings. Even if we can just get photographs of the outside, I'm satisfied with that. Okay, let's take a little walk around. The other videos I watched of this place, I didn't see anybody go in this. Just a couple of the other buildings. That school still looks active for some reason. I'm gonna be the suspicious activity probably. Look at that, yellow windows. They got brickwork here on the front of it that looks like it would have been in a old-time McDonald's kitchen. There's even some pictures right there. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, we're not even gonna be able to walk in there. Oh my gosh, that's packed with school chairs. They just threw all the chairs right on top of the pews. There's roof damage. Wow. There's a water fountain. Anything in there? Oh, the bathroom. I can't believe that's not smashed. There's a computer tower right there. Old TV. What's this? Is that like a confession booth? I'm not sure. See light, turn it off. Okay, let's see if we can get a good view up here. Okay, we gotta be careful. That leak right there has just rotted the stairs out, but I think we can safely get by that. Yep. Wow. Look at all this stuff. Okay, we saw what we needed to see. We're not going to go back there. There's a Christmas tree torn to pieces right there. A fake tree. Okay, these are nice railings. Let's carefully get by the rotted area. And we're good. I hear all the dogs yapping again. They recently just cut down all the trees and vegetation. I wonder if they're gonna tear it down. Got a culvert pipe right there. Hey, let's take a peek in the back, I guess. Those are some rusty chairs. It's actually super cold in here compared to outside. File cabinets. Yeah, they were using this church for nothing but storage. Typewriter. It's not one of the super duper vintage old ones, but cool. Let's walk around back for a moment. There's all the damage. Well, we're not going to get through that door. That door is completely delaminating and just falling apart though. The roof is gone, that used to be over it. If we were here in the summertime, this would have been really pretty, all the vines and vegetation that you can tell they just cut down from the building. All right, now we're gonna venture across the road. That walkway there is still open and could be used if there was anyone around to use it. See here it says Partners for Pets. I should have went. Now I gotta wait for a car. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get out on this side because there's a lot of construction workers around. We might just get our footage from the road. This building here, what's this brand new thing they're doing? I can tell it's an older building, but they're fixing it up. Here's another church. This building also looks very active. It looks like they're fixing a lot of this. Let me show you to the sides. This church looks like it's in very good shape. It's got a brand new roof. They've been keeping this one up. The other side, you can tell that building was hit really bad by a hurricane. Look at that. Just look at this one, has no roof. The walls are gone. Yeah, these buildings over here to the left have been being fixed, or this one here looks brand new, whatever they're building. So yeah, I think a lot of these older buildings here, their time is limited. I think they're gonna start ripping all this stuff down, so we better see what we can today. Yeah, there's actually workers in there even on a Saturday. And this looks like it's still a prison. There's lots of vehicles. There's even a police car at the front of it. Down here, you can tell these are a bunch of older buildings, but they're in fairly good shape. They've been maintaining them. We're not gonna find a way in there. But yeah, there's guys up there in the second floor actually fixing it, so at least we got to see what we did see. I'm gonna take this road right here so we can get a few more close-up shots of the abandoned stuff. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is gone, and if anyone's interested in this, I would just Google up some older people's videos of the place. The footage that I got today, I didn't see anyone else go in those specific spots, but I did see people go in really cool stuff like locker rooms, which I'm assuming is over here somewhere. And these ones might have signs telling you not to go in them. This building, the whole roof just got taken away by the last hurricane. Cool. Let's drive around back. Oh, actually, here is some of the memorial for the school. So they can't really tell me I can't be here. Yeah, we're gonna get out and take a look at this. I don't think this is the cemetery though. Let's get out for a minute. I just took a look around the facility with Google Maps. A good portion of the buildings are already gone. And the building I said was a prison. Google's saying it was a sheriff's office. So let's take a little look around. Yeah, this gives you a lot of history. I'm gonna make sure this all focuses in if anyone wants to read it. Talks about all the abuse at the school. Even boys that were killed by the school, and when their parents were asking for their whereabouts, the school denied even knowing who the kids were. So this little park was built later on when the state started taking responsibility for it. And what's this building over here say? It's got thick plexiglass over the windows to protect it, I guess against the elements, because all the windows appear to be smashed, likely by a hurricane. At the moment I'm hearing a ton of pigeons or mourning doves over here hooing. Look at that, yeah. Pigeons galore. Here's the old cafeteria building. Lots and lots of pigeons have been in here. Massive fire extinguisher. It looks like the type that would be on the wall above the stove or something. Look at all those transformers for fluorescent lights. There's a bunch of fluorescent tubes broken. This building looks like it's actually in pretty good shape. Here's the kitchen. Big oven. Electrical room. Freezers. Okay, this is some of the stuff I remember seeing from other people's videos. This is a very old freezer door. We were actually in a abandoned building earlier today, and it looked modern when it was like 40 years old. I like seeing these older fixtures and stuff. And this one here has like a really modern lock. No vandalism. Not whatsoever. Notice that there's no graffiti in here. Either people respect this place, or maybe it's because literally the building 2 over is the active sheriff's department. And this is a historic site, which is, as far as I can tell, open to the public to look around. Like, they have a historic site right next to this, and nothing tells me I can't come in here. Got a heater right there where the hot water or steam, I'm not sure what kind of boiler they had, would have heated up those coils and blew air through them. Ooh, look, they still got the plaque on the door. Wonder if I can read that. I'm not really good at reading things backwards. Get this tarp off me. All right, I guess let's go look around at the next building. So yeah, that's the sheriff's department over there. Looks like a prison to me though. Wow, look at that roof. I think something fell on that. Something big in a hurricane, I think, struck this place. And here's the main entrance. Look at that, the doors are just strung wide open so people can come in here, I guess, and view it. Not even a cell door. I mean, there's not even a bathroom stall door there. All right, we're gonna go to the next building to the left. Then maybe we'll go to that one to the right. I want to start at the most exciting one first. All right, so that door right there has glass. Oh, actually, yeah, it has glass. I see the reflection now. So the front door here, we're definitely getting in. There's no glass. There's no roof either, so I'm wondering how bad this building's gonna be. Doctor parking only. You can just walk right through. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought. It's got that steel deck right there, which is not the entire roof. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I wanna circle back to the truck and get a flashlight. Let's see if I can actually get out of here, the door next to the truck. Yeah, we're gonna get a flashlight. Yeah, of course it's open. I'm not sure what the first two letters mean, but Dozier School for Boys is the last three. Okay, we got a flashlight now because this building's a bit dark. I didn't realize there's like another roof on it. Let's see if it'll let us in. Coming back. Oh, it's locked. We gotta go back through the front, I guess. Take a quick look around. Okay, I think the light's on bright as it goes. Let's see. 1, 2, 1. Okay, that's as bright as we're gonna go. Look at this tiles. Whole room is tiled. Hey, we can just go through like this. Wood paneling, director of nurses, save the lights, signs everywhere. There's toilets. Yeah, this is what happens when an abandoned building is open to the public and right next to a police department that looks like a prison. People know that they'll be locked up in there if they smash this stuff right next to a police department, I guess is what it is. Usually the buildings we explore are out in the middle of nowhere. Stalactites. Absolutely everywhere. This building is in very good shape. Now these ones, I believe, were 2011 abandoned, definitely. And the water damage probably occurred. Oh, nurse's lounge. Let's see what's in the corners. This damage most likely occurred right after a hurricane. Because if it wasn't for a hurricane, I think this building would still be in 100% good shape. Oh, look at this. Look at the bulletproof glass, I'm assuming that is, where you'd have a correction officer sitting here checking visitors in and out, is what I'm thinking that is. Another fire extinguisher. Okay, there's a little bit of vandalism in here. Got some showers. I've never seen a knob like that, and I've never seen a shower head like that. I guess it's so that that stuff can't become a weapon. A little bit of black mold. Look at those. I'm gonna take a picture of that. That looks actually pretty cool, those rust stains. This looks pretty cool too. Get back like that. Get a nice snapshot of it. I guess this is maybe a little gym. I don't know what this part of the building is. Maybe this is all bulletproof glass. That's what I'm thinking. These would be great buildings for training, since the police department's right next to it. I've seen them use extremely dilapidated buildings, amazingly. Now this is the door that I'm gonna be locked out as soon as we open it. But I've seen what we needed to see in there. Very heavy duty building, which is really cool. Now let's go take a look at this one last building, and I think that's all we're gonna go in. I think that's all we're really supposed to go in. Notice how these buildings are pretty clean, not a lot of debris. Look at that awesome tower right there. Since they have their own water tower, especially since this place is over 120 years old, there wouldn't have been city water most likely, so they had to have their own well, and that's how they get pressure. Pressure from a well. If there's a demand, like a lot of people using showers at the same time, you'd want to have something like this, because when no one's using the water, like in the middle of the night, the well can keep that thing full, top it off, and that creates a massive amount of pressure itself when you would likely run out of water otherwise. And look at the stuff they have on it to make sure you can't climb it. It still looks like it's in very good shape. And here's one last building. It's also wide open doors. And this massive pile right there is hiding that sheriff's department, is what Google says it is. And they're building a whole bunch of other buildings here. I'm guessing they're going to be some sort of government buildings. I'm not sure though. Once again, doors are wide open for us to take a look. Now this building seems a lot older than the others. Okay, I gotta get an angle to, the reflection's bad. I think that's original from the school from 2011. The toilet, there's some internet cables. We don't explore buildings that often that had internet in them. Most of the places we explore are extremely old. And look at all the paint flaking off the floor. That's what this is. Is this more bulletproof glass? It might be plexiglass. Yeah, the way it's scratched. There's a bird's nest up there in that heater. Another door. Yeah, notice this. A lot of the doors are missing. Maybe that's what was over in storage. I'm not 100% sure what this building was being used for, but it's got a lot of table space. And this building looks to be in very good condition. I don't see any leaks on the ceiling. I like it. The electrical even looks very new. Yeah, I definitely believe that these 3 buildings were open 14 years ago. What do you think? Are these cameras active right now and doing something? I'm guessing the one up here is definitely active. It's on a brand new pole. Now these cameras, some people might not know much about security cameras, but now here's the thing. Pulling up in front of it, getting out, walking around, something like that will actually send notifications to your phone just like a doorbell camera, but probably to the police station right there. It'll send a notification saying vehicle motion. It'll say human motion detected. And some of these good cameras these days that have AI will also have item detection. What that means is it knows everything that's here. Let's say one of these statues was to just disappear. It would send someone a notification that an object was moved or taken. The AI on these newer cameras really works well, I gotta say. I know my doorbell camera can do that stuff. It can recognize if something in the yard is not where it's supposed to be. It's kind of cool. Even something falling over in the wind, you'll get a notification like that. All right, 4-minute drive. My Google map is telling me. We're gonna drive to the actual cemetery now. And these right here are more buildings that were associated with it. The one with the big smokestack right there, that was an incinerator. And who knows what they burned in there. Mostly garbage, but who knows. Now here we go into all the construction. So those historic buildings, the 3 we just went in, hopefully they fix them up a little bit so people can continue to go in them like we just did. I don't know if they will. I think that eventually they might get torn down, especially those first buildings and the ones right here on our left. I think they're all gonna get torn down. Wait a second, there's no traffic, I'm stopping. I don't care if people think I'm a weirdo recording, I just wanna show. Look at that, the carpentry building. There's the incinerator at this building. Pretty cool. Now we're going back out to the main road. Back underneath this structure, which looks like it's in perfect condition. Other than hurricanes, down here in the south, if it can survive a hurricane, it's gonna be there for a long time. There's no deep freezing and freeze and thaw cycles that would destroy stuff here like up north. Just minor frost for winter months. Wait a second. It's saying I drove the wrong way. It was in the first spot we were in. All right, we gotta turn around. We gotta turn around. I went the wrong way. Looks like we can drive all the way through here though. Jackson County Agriculture Offices is what we just pulled into. Jackson County Correctional Facility. Oh, so there's a prison right... Yeah, I see it. There's a prison if I turn right down this road. Yeah. If there's an actual... Oh, it says Jackson County Correctional Facility Drug Treatment Center, but it still has all the barbed wire fences and stuff. It still has all the barbed wire fences and stuff. All the razor wire, still got all that. So I think us going around this place, we're definitely on camera. But from what I can see on Google and Google reviews of people exploring this place, they're probably pretty used to it. And yeah, we just went by their old baseball field that this place had too. Okay, we're going back in and we're gonna follow Google Maps exactly on these roads it wants us to follow. Because I know the cemetery is 100% open to the public. Alright, we're going back up there by those school buses. Yeah, I got no idea if this place is still open and operating, but it has picnic tables that look brand new. It's being mowed. It's got buses here, but it is a Saturday, so because it's a Saturday, I feel better. I'd feel not like I'm supposed to be here if I was near an active school. And there's still this little van right here. I don't know if this is a custodian or someone in the school on the weekend or another explorer. Okay, so we're turning here. I didn't even think to drive down this road earlier. So yeah, if we park down here at the cemetery, maybe we can walk back up here to some of these buildings. Since these plants have died off this time of year, maybe I'd feel better walking in there, especially since it's cold and the snakes might not be in there. Yeah, take a look at this. Wow. Being overgrown by all this plant growth makes this place look beautiful. I wish I was seeing this in the summer, because you can tell this stuff just got killed by frost very, very recently. Okay, got you back in the windshield. Now there's a cemetery down here. Ooh, it says we can be here though, but we're right behind the prison. This feels like we're not supposed to be here, but it says we can. Yeah, take a look at that. Look at all that razor wire. We're right here at the prison. It looks like they're putting a new roof on the prison. These really feel like places we're not supposed to be. But we're definitely on camera now. There's a ton of cameras around that building. Now here's the gate where the map is showing we gotta walk a minute. What does this sign say? Restricted area, do not enter, authorized personnel only. It's okay, we're not going up here. It says that we have to walk on Google Maps, but it's wide open, so we're gonna drive up here. Lots and lots of fire ant hills. Here we are. Yeah, this is definitely a place that we're able to be. It's a cemetery. Although there is a cemetery in Pennsylvania right next to Graffiti Highway. I've never seen a cemetery in my life. It's covered in no trespassing signs, and it says violators will be prosecuted. Really? At a cemetery? What if I have some relative buried there? You can't make a cemetery closed off to the public, but Pennsylvania did. So this is the site that they were using ground penetrating radar. They recently put this nice fence up, but they use ground penetrating radar because the majority of the graves are unmarked or don't say who it is. There's another one of these signs. Let's go inside. Look at these trees. Kind of hollow. Reminds me of redwood trees. Now there's actual benches, there's actual grave markers now. I saw somebody's YouTube video of this from like 2014, and they just had rocks painted white. There wasn't even markers, so they actually did a good amount now. Nice granite benches, very smooth. And they actually have names now. Looks like with the ground penetrating radar and research, they were able to positively been identified, it says. Just some of the names. I'm sure that's really good to have this closure for the families. And here's still some that are unknown. All unknown. Yeah. So they went around this whole place with ground penetrating radar. And right here's the graves of kids that they don't know who they are. Especially with some of these being over 100 years old, it's very hard to find family to do anything, even the DNA analysis, because they don't know who any of these people are or who any of the relatives these days would be to do stuff like this. Yeah, you can tell this concrete, all this stuff here is like brand new. If you look at other people's videos of this from a decade ago, it was nothing like this. It was just the way that the facility had left it. They were marking graves with rocks, no names, or not marking them at all. Some of them were buried outside the fence, not even part of the cemetery. So that's why they had to go around all the grounds and check that stuff out. All right, I think we have seen just about everything that we're gonna see today. So this place has a lot of buildings that we did not go to, but a lot of those buildings don't look accessible, or they look like they're being maintained, which means we might not be able to get into them. But I was actually very surprised to see those buildings right next to the sheriff's department with the doors wide open, with ropes holding the doors wide open, just fully open to the public like that. I was surprised to see that because a lot of places don't leave things wide open like that, but I guess this is now considered a historic site, so that's why they have that now. And I don't know what is to the left, but we can't go down there. I don't think that's part of the school, though. This cemetery is actually a bit away from all the buildings that I can see on maps. I look down there, there's like a bunch of sidewalks and stuff. Yeah, there's a couple buildings down there in the restricted area, but I don't know what it is. Now we're gonna drive by the prison again, back up to those other buildings. While we're here, I'm gonna get out. The school up here is closed. It's a weekend, so I'm gonna get out and have ourselves a look at some of these overgrown buildings. I want to see maybe just the one to the right because it's in good shape. The other ones are all collapsed. Oh wow. Let me back up a second. This looks really cool with all the vines. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Look at that overgrowth on those buildings. That's amazing. I bet it's super dark in there, especially in the summer. And there's even another building here. I didn't even notice it. Maybe just a shed completely overtaken by the vines. But I'm gonna go back up here by this Ford Ranger, and I think we can go inside this building right here because it looks like a definitive trail going up to it. Where's the trail? Thought I saw a trail. Maybe it was the other building. Yeah, it might have been one of the other buildings. And when we look at Google Maps, what do we got straight in front of us? Ooh, we're going up there. Maybe on foot, maybe. Because this looks like another... Yeah, there's abandoned buildings up here. We're going to pull in here and we're going to pull over to the side over some of this growth, just in case someone else needs to go by us. We're going to take a quick walk. Yeah, there is definitely something cool up here. And once again, right next to a prison. I feel weird walking around, but this place is open to the public, and I'm sure I'm already on somebody's radar. They're watching me and they can see I'm not doing anything wrong. So right here we got looks like a concrete road. I could have driven up here, but I wasn't 100% sure about turning around. And towards the beginning of the video, when I drove down that really bumpy area, I probably shouldn't have done that because I really do not want to run over a nail. Okay, this is what I saw on Google Maps. There's a couple buildings here. And there's even a down wire. It's TV cable. Let's walk under that. I'm ducking my head really low. Bunch of like padding for like chairs, like seat pads. Wow, this is way better condition than I thought it would be because it just blends in with the trees, all the vines climbing over it. Wow. Another solid built building. I don't know if we're gonna go upstairs in it or not, but yeah, I'm not going up there. Look, the whole roof collapsed. The first floor is made out of cement, but I mean concrete blocks, but the upstairs looks like it was wood framed. Yeah. Look at this. Turned into a forest, this part of the building. How are we doing for nails? I definitely see a couple nails sticking up, but yep. I'm gonna go up this because I just want to get a little view. I'm not gonna actually walk around, although I could. The ceiling's cement, it would hold me. Just want to get a quick view. Looks like nothing but a forest. And I'm being very careful. I do have metal in the soles of my boots, but I don't want to fall. I see a lot of nails there. That'd be painful. And this building continues right here, but there's no way through. So I gotta really walk it, I think, back out to the road. Ouch! There's a lot of vines in here. And see this fenced in area? That's where we drove in at the beginning. I see a light post. Building is still in there. It looks like there's a second building too, so we gotta walk for a little bit. Yep, I already see it in there. Lots of barbed wire fencing, lots of fire ants. Yep, here's the second building. Does this road have good access to it? So I don't have to plow through the bushes again. Whole roof is collapsed, completely rotted. I'd say these buildings, there's no way that these were abandoned 14 years ago. Much, much longer. And I think this might actually continue to where I drove my vehicle and turned around. I think it did. But yeah, I'm gonna have to walk back down here a little bit and push into the bushes again, because I want to go into the main corridor, because just like the first building, the main corridor is the only thing that's actually in good shape. This looks like the best spot. Plowing through the trees. Is this rotten enough to kick? Nope, that's actually, ouch, pretty solid. Okay, crawling underneath. And it looks very similar to the other building. Got some nice stairs going up. Big file cabinets. Windows still intact, not smashed. Notice there's not any graffiti here. It's because we're next to a police department. All right, this actually looks identical to the other building. A little bit better shape. And I love seeing the tiles are in great shape. If this was a northern building, freeze and thaw cycles would have destroyed all this. Now this building, we can actually get in the hallway a little bit. Not too overgrown. Looks like a couch or something years ago. Look at the breaker box. That is so rusted out. I bet they still flip though. Yep. Ooh, look at that. Look at the sinks. This was a bathroom. Okay, you see this? This has been abandoned so long that the entire wood-framed roof collapsed and has almost completely rotted away where you can't even notice it. And it's turning back into a forest on the concrete floor. So enough time has passed that enough leaves have blown in here, decomposed into soil, that a forest could grow. Now we're back out into like a little courtyard. And look, we still got that's the electrical one right there. I wonder, does this place have a basement? Because I'm noticing right here a railing. Looks like a basement window too. Oh, yes it does. I didn't bring a flashlight up here though. Still gonna look. Let's break this stuff out of the way for a quick escape. Oh, good. We didn't need the flashlight. It doesn't go under the whole building. There is nothing in there but the boiler. Look at these gutters. Those are some thick gutters to still be around. There's one basement window. What's in here? I'm not sure. I always find it amazing exploring abandoned commercial buildings. I love how resilient and tough they are. You got these concrete walls with the beautiful tiles going around every single wall. It's really nice looking. How are these stairs? Railing is still very solid. I'm relying on that. Let's see. Spider web. This building's in a lot better shape. Oh, look. There's a toilet and a sink. Whole building fell down around it somehow without breaking the toilet. There might be another toilet over here. I see a faucet. There may have been a bathtub there. Looks like maybe a tub faucet. And I love how they did the brickwork. I've seen certain buildings where, and there's nothing wrong with this, they just put any rock, any random piece of scrap to build the wall. But here they actually had a nice pattern, even in spots that don't matter and would not be seen. Okay. Let's go back down here without falling through the nails. Oh, oh. The railing's actually breaking. I put a little bit too much trust in that. Most people don't like seeing stuff like this, but I wish I had like a staircase like that with all the tile. It's like a underground subway. And there the I-beam is starting to rust, but look how little water damage there is, that it's still, the tiles aren't even destroyed. It's so resilient, the reinforced concrete. The entire upstairs rotted away, but downstairs is basically untouched. That is amazing. And I think what is to blame for that is no freeze and thaw cycles. If this building was up north, like where I usually explore, freeze and thaw cycles would have made so many cracks in that reinforced concrete upstairs. And yeah, water, there'd be cracks from the winter. It would have been destroyed. But these buildings being in the south is really what saved them. Look at that. A deer stepped in the fire ant nest. All right, I'm gonna leave the truck exactly where it is. And this is pretty flattened down. So I think we're gonna find our way in here pretty nicely without the risk of snakes. I see in there, it looks like grapevines and maybe oriental bittersweet up there, but there's also a couple plants I don't recognize because I'm not from the south. Why'd I think that was a door? Let's take a look. Oh wow. Another horde of files and records. Wow. What a mess. And there's no way to get to the other part of the building. The roof doesn't seem to be leaking here at all, except over on the edge where it was likely hit by a hurricane. Okay, I think I'm best if I squeeze around this corridor, because look, it's wide open here underneath the trees to walk against the building. And here's another entrance. Yeah, look around. There's no way out. There's so much growth. It's another horde of doors and desks. Is this a real blackboard? It's just a horde, the whole building. So much stuff. Can I stand on these desks? Yeah, I can stand on these desks. I don't want to go in there, but I just want to get a little shot. I see a piano or an organ in there. But yeah, too much stuff to get in there. Never mind. thinking about the second floor. Okay, we're getting in this one a little bit. Look at all the chairs. Whoa. Look at all the desks. There's like a narrow channel in here. Please, no angry raccoons. Whoa. This is the room I couldn't get in because all the pianos and stuff blocking it. Over here, there's a whole bunch of old file cabinets. Look at the old dials. That is cool. There's lockers too. And look at these old televisions. I'm glad I got in here because this is, I'm getting a couple one-of-a-kind pictures in here. Look at those vintage desks. Imagine restoring those. That is awesome. All right, hold up before we go out. I just want to see. I don't think there is. I'm looking for the second floor. Look at, that's a lot of water damage. I can't go in there. I think that's the first room we were in with all those files. Here's the back room. Ooh, a giant kitchen. That stove. Pantry space. What's this? It's really creepy, like a old-timey jail cell. There's freezers. So this is like the old-timey part of the prison. Look at that. I don't think we can get out the back part of it, but I'm gonna try getting back out of here through this other spot. I honestly have no idea how to get to the second floor. Ooh, you haven't seen those in a while, but I am old enough to recognize that. An overhead projector. And that's a pretty old one right there. I had those in elementary school. And in elementary school, I think the smart board was a brand new creation. And I think these days, the smart board where you have those interactive pens, I think even that is out of date now. Because when I left high school, they had just a gigantic flat screen TV that was a touchscreen. Because the smart board still used a projector, whether it was an older primitive smart board where you would have a projector in the other side of the room that you could, like, kids would walk in front of it and block the whole screen, or the newer modern ones would have the projector at a weird angle from up above, and then you can't block it. Even when you're drawing on it, it doesn't block it at such a tight angle. Again, I don't know if the school's open, but I wouldn't want to walk around an active school. So I'm glad it's the weekend as far as that. And I did expect there to be other explorers at a place like this, especially on a weekend. That's why I usually try to explore on weekdays, but this was convenient for me since I was just passing through and I saw this place plotted on my map as a place I've wanted to visit for quite a while. So I decided to come in here real quick. Look at that bed. Got bunk beds. This building has a different color tile, but it's still amazing. This actually looks like, this looks exactly like the other buildings. I think it is. It's just in better shape, yeah. See, it collapsed, but it's not as far gone as those ones we just went to in the woods. So this will give you a picture. Yes, look, it is exactly the same. This is exactly the same building, so it'll give us a better picture. Wow, look at that. And all the toilets. Yes, this definitely gives us a better picture. There's that room right here that I was peeking through, and it seems like a shower, but I don't see shower heads. Oh, yes, they're up above. Wouldn't have noticed that in the other building, because the other building is, all that wood is completely rotted away. So this is actually fantastic to see this building without it being completely destroyed. This is such a unique building. I know someone in my comments will get mad that I keep saying over and over, wow, it's so amazing. Well, it is to me. And there's so much to see. I'm trying not to move the camera around too much, but this is cool. Look at that. It almost looks like wood. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. Okay. I don't know how stable the upstairs is, but the floor is going to be stable in this section. Okay, we got a leak up there, and it looks very bright once we open the door. Okay. Yeah, this whole place is about to collapse, but I feel like this is decades, behind the decomposure of the other building. Yep, this is the sink we saw. Remember I zoomed in? Yes, there was a bathtub in the middle of the building, just like I mentioned over at the other one. Yep. There was absolutely a bathtub when I saw that, that large faucet. But this will all be crumbling away soon. Definitely. And we're gonna go down the other stairwell because we saw what we needed to. Look, there's even an emergency escape out the back. Oh yeah, look at that metal staircase. Still in great shape. Tree fell on the building there. Yeah, this was amazing to see, especially after we went in that other one. This is what the other building used to look like. It's identical. And this is a cool building. I wouldn't mind living in something like this as a house. I like commercial spaces. I know most people don't, but the way it's built is just awesome because what they build these days typically wouldn't last as long as these. Although in the South, you kind of have to build it the same way. You have to use concrete, cinder blocks, that kind of stuff. Because of hurricanes, they don't really make houses this close to the ocean that are wood framed 100%. Like this building is only wood framed up top. Ouch. Tripping on the vines. We got one more. Just taking a peek. Looking it over. We're not even gonna bother going in the last one because I'm looking at it. It's another of the exact same thing. Exact same thing. That one is long gone, like the ones in the woods. But why is this one still in relatively good shape? I don't know. Relatively good shape. Maybe it's because it has less trees around it. Maybe it rotted slower because it had more sunlight. Maybe that kind of factor. Maybe they used it a little bit longer, since these are clearly weren't abandoned in 2011. And I'm also very surprised. I don't notice any asbestos in these. But why do they leave a hazard like this right next to a school? I don't know. I'm not even sure what that school is. It looks like it's still some sort of juvenile detention center with the fences around, especially the front of it. I'm not sure. This building over here, looking at it now, I don't even think it has a second floor that we were looking for. It probably had a designated like crawl space, like a hatch. I have that in my house. I just didn't notice it. Ooh. Got some vulture friends. I'm guessing many of these trees are dead and all their branches were ripped off by a hurricane. That would be my guess. See, I noticed that. I guess it might just be a vent, but I thought it was a second floor. But wait, there's more. While we're parked here, might as well look at these last buildings since they're here. Now they're still using this for something, so I'm just gonna keep my distance from it. I might walk up to it, but it's got a brand new roof. Even from 2011, that roof is not even that old in my opinion. Because in the South, people have to replace their asphalt shingle roofs every 5 or 10 years even, because the sun here is so strong. At least that's what I was told by someone that lives here. And with multiple hurricanes that have hit this place since then, I think that roof is brand new. You can hear all the animals going nuts over there. Now this is like a little pavilion. Got some flammable liquids in there. Looks like big containers of glue, paint. Looks like helium tanks. Not sure what this is, but this looks like a pavilion where they may have served food or something out of that middle part. I don't know if that was for workers. Probably. Maybe it was a little lounge area for teachers or something back in the day. I'm just speculating. I'm not sure what any of this stuff is. But when I was watching videos of this, a couple documentaries of it, they didn't show the buildings, at least in what I was watching. They just described them. And they described a white house. It was either this or that little white one next to the memorial. I'm not sure. And this is where most of the beatings would happen. The boys would get lined up outside and wait to go in here. They'd get hit by leather belts so hard until they would bleed, and they weren't allowed to make a single noise or it would continue. Got some children's bowling pins. Lots of children's stuff here. Another toilet. This place, I tell you, it's nice to explore because there's no vandalism. And this is like the biggest Ziploc bag I've ever seen. Is that like those vacuum? No, it's not. It's like a bag a gym teacher, I guess, would be carrying around, just seeing what's in it. At first I thought maybe it was a vacuum bag, but then I saw the vent on it. No, it's like a big duffel bag made by Ziploc. And this looks like the last building. And, well, it's got some broken windows. I don't think they're still using it, but it looks more recent. It's got a brand new roof, like I just showed. It's got a serving area, like a little buffet table. So there's the controls for it, and it had the sneeze guard, so I guess you'd stand in front of that and you'd tell the lunch person what you wanted on your plate. That's what that is. More of those helium looking tanks. Let's get to the bottom of this. Are these actually helium? Because there's refrigerant. Makes sense. There's so many walk-in freezers on the property, so that's what that giant pile is in the woods. So Like I originally thought, I no longer think people were dumping here. I think it was the school dumping their own junk because they didn't want to pay to have it disposed of. But then again, that makes no sense. Those are metal containers and any scrap collector would want them since they're empty. Refrigerant's one of the hardest things to get rid of. Cost a bit, but they're empty, so I don't know why they let it pile up into such a junkyard back there. So maybe this place did have much younger children too, just based on what we're finding in here. When you think of a place like this, you think of teenagers and young adults, but I'm just seeing things here, like the excessive amount of toys. Well, it's a good thing we explored it, because here's the only no trespassing sign on the property. I think it's old though. I don't think they care if you explore it anymore these days, because look, if we were here a couple weeks ago before the frost hit, I wouldn't even have noticed it. But it's got a phone number if you want information, but we already explored it. Yeah, the only signs here, and this is where I parked, just slightly inside this gate, so I'd be out of the way. So I would guess that they leave this place open so people can see this and understand what horrors came from this place and maybe learn from it. And maybe convince more people to come forward in the future with situations like this. But there was allegations coming out of this place for 70 years almost. No, actually, I think we saw in that plaque earlier. No, 60, 70 years is when the governor came here to visit for the first time. But there was a sign, I think in the first year of operation, they were already having abuse issues. People kept trying to report it, but no one ever listened because this place, I guess, was government run. And now they put memorials up and finally shut it down, and the state is trying to make up for it by closing it officially, getting rid of it, and just letting it rot. So I guess in a way, letting it rot and people who were affected by this being able to come in here and look at it rotting away, I guess is maybe a form of closure. It just completely falling apart and seeing it in this condition might actually be better than demolishing it, because it doesn't look like they're actively demolishing it. It looks like they're actively fixing a couple of the buildings across the road to maybe use them for something else. Over here, most of this stuff looks like it's probably just going to sit there forever. Look at this. There's a kitty cat. We just drove up this road, did we not? Did we not just... Oh, wait. No, yeah, we were just up this road. It loops around. Because I was about to say, did somebody just lock me in? Oh, but now I'm remembering. That gate was always shut. But we're going to drive back through this area. The cat's getting scared. He's moving off to the side. Yeah. So they're maintaining it enough for people to come in here and look at it, and it looks like it's open to the public. The only no trespassing sign we saw was extremely old, and the gate was open, so it's as if it doesn't apply. And we're 100% on camera. We're 100% tripping security cameras with all the prisons and stuff around here, because believe me, security cameras these days send notifications to security. They know I'm here. Anyone who has a home surveillance system of any type, even a doorbell camera like me, knows that those things have tripwires. You can go into the settings and you can make it so the left side of the camera does not trigger an alarm because it sees the road, it sees traffic. You want, I guess, traffic in it, in case there's an incident. But then the other side of the camera screen, it will show your driveway, which it does have a tripwire. When something like a vehicle enters that frame, it will send a notification. They're very advanced systems these days. Even the cheaper ones have that AI in them. But here's the place with all the animals. Yeah, I see a whole bunch of there's a lot of cats walking around outside at this cat rescue. It's nice, the cat rescue. They're not liking me driving by with a bell, though, the dogs. Well, this was a very interesting place to explore. I'm glad I stopped, and it's nice that this stuff is all open to the public, because at least Florida has good laws where, let's say I fell through a floor or I got really hurt in there. Well, I entered that place at my own risk, and you got to take your own responsibility. But then there's states where they would board up and immediately demolish this stuff because the state or owner could actually get in trouble if a trespasser got hurt. Some states just have really messed up laws. Like, I've even heard situations where somebody gets injured breaking into a house, but yet the owner gets in trouble for it. It wasn't a booby trap or anything, it's just someone got cut when they were smashing something. States like that, I don't know who makes these laws or how they get it put into place, but thankfully Florida does not have that type of stupid law, and they leave a bunch of interesting things open to look at. But I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. I'm the type of person, when I go driving around a place like that, I don't think I got any nails in my tires, but I'm always watching. The screen in my truck tells me the tire pressure, and I'm not seeing anything weird, but what I am seeing is the tires on the left have 41 PSI, but the right side has 36. It's interesting to see. The ones that were sitting in the sun for an hour have a lot more pressure. That's really pretty. I don't think I've ever seen cotton fields in real life before. Or I was just near them at the wrong time of year to see it. Alright everyone, thank you for reaching the end of the video. I just want to show you around a little bit with Google Maps. So, when you search this place up, this is what it shows you here. This is the cemetery. This satellite image is pretty new. You can see the new concrete we went to. And here's the, I don't know what that clearing is up there, but here's the road we drove down. This is where it said authorized personnel only. See, it looks like a bunch of sidewalks. There's a couple of buildings down there. Then we come back. Here's the prison we drove by. Has a whole bunch of prison yards with razor wire. That's where they were putting a brand new roof in. Here's the school that appears to be active. And look, there's a lot of cars, so there's staff there. So it looks like this school is still being used. Here's those two identical buildings I went in. There's the one in good shape, and here's the one that's kind of falling apart. Here's that other storage building with all the stuff inside it. Here's where I parked, where that gate was. I walked all the way up in here, and here's the very dilapidated buildings, number 1 and number 2. So it looks like there was 4 identical buildings. And then there's this road here. We did not go up this road. It looks like maybe they demolished something. Just a clearing. What do we got there? We may have missed something. Oh, yeah. We may have missed something. It looks like there's a silo right there. See that thing? It looks like, yeah, we may have missed a couple buildings there. Well, we will definitely go back there someday in the future if it is still existing and they don't tear it down. And here's where we first started off. Jackson County Public Maintenance. Oh, so this may have had nothing to do with the school. There's all those temporary mobile buildings, and there's a couple of them there that weren't even there today. Here's that building with all those bright colored countertops. Right there in the middle of the screen is the building with all the bottles. Here's that building with all the walk-in freezers and stuff. And there's where all the dogs were yapping that we could hear in the video. Here's the building with that gym teacher's duffel bag. There's a little pavilion I thought maybe they would be selling food at. And if we go over here, There's that dilapidated church. Go across the road. There's that walkway. And here's that newer building that they're working on. Yeah, they built like a whole new canopy in the front, like a place you could drive a car up to it. And here's where the smokestack is, the incinerator, carpentry buildings. Look at this. Oh, wow. There's another abandoned building in the woods there that we didn't even notice. 2 of them, and they look identical. 2 more abandoned buildings. Here's the ones we went in. Number 1 with the roof destroyed. Huh. These buildings weren't here, were they? Oh, yeah, they've been demolishing stuff. These 2 weren't there. There's the church that was in good shape. Those churches look identical, by the way. Here's a building we went in. Oh, look at this. There's that tiny building, but the memorial's not there yet. Oh, what did I do? What did I press? I pressed the wrong button. Where was I? Yeah, the memorial's not there yet in this satellite image. So, yeah, they've been busy. Here's this other building we went in. And, oh, wow. They tore down this. They tore down this. All these little individual houses. That's where that giant pile of dirt is now, blocking the sheriff's office. And the sheriff's office has razor wire. It looks like a prison. Wow. They tore down so much stuff. They tore this one down too. Yeah. I'm glad we explored what we could when we did. If I go and explore this again, maybe next year if I'm in the area, who knows what could be demolished by then. Yeah, there's a few things in the woods here that look like they're still existing. But who knows if they're even still there, because all these buildings right there in the center of the screen are gone. That makes me wonder, are they going to keep these 3 there that are right next to the memorial? I have no idea. But yeah, we missed a few things. I'm looking really carefully right now, and we went to all these buildings that stand out, but these other buildings, looking at it right now, I don't see it. You got to zoom way in, and you see a couple dilapidated structures, but who knows if they're even still there, because you can tell, even right here in the middle of the screen, they have really been demolishing this. So I thought they were maybe leaving this stuff there, just letting it crumble into time as some kind of statement so people could see that this stuff is just crumbling away in time. But no, they're actually tearing all this down. Here's the buildings that also look like they're in good shape. It's got some debris on the roof, maybe a recent hurricane, but these they look like they're keeping. And this is definitely demolished. This is where they put that brand new building that we saw going up. Well, I just wanted to show a little bit on the satellite map, everyone. Maybe we'll go visit it next year. Maybe we won't. We'll see what's still there, but wow. Like half of it's gone. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.